you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real at the time, and you think, now this is what I mean by actually starting to swim up or downstream with the rest of the salmon, you know, eventually, if you stay here long enough.
Yeah.
You'll find yourself doing that. And you have to, there's a way of doing it without doing it. And I've often felt it. I've sat there and I have felt the knife slipped firmly in between my shoulder blades and tried to have it shoved through the other side through my heart.
They don't erase someone in Hollywood without a reason. For years, most people treated Mel Gibson's collapse as self-inflicted, a cautionary tale of scandal, rage, and exile. Case closed, career buried. Then an old interview suddenly explodes back into circulation. Out of nowhere, a decades-old clip resurfaces in the middle of the cultural storm surrounding Sound of Freedom, and what once sounded like paranoia now feels eerily prophetic. A 24-minute conversation from 1998 gets hacked down to barely 3 minutes, sharpened, stripped of context, and blasted across social media. Within days, it racks up more than 2.7 million views. The framing is immediate. Gibson knew something. In the snippet, he talked about entering Hollywood with strange suspicions, instincts he initially dismissed but later believed were justified. He describes betrayal as inevitable, like a knife waiting behind your back. At one point, he half jokes about sensing something dark and cold in the industry, even referencing apocalyptic imagery. Taken alone, it sounds like old-school paranoia. Dropped into today's climate, it sounds like a warning. Suddenly his name is being woven into viral theories. Posts falsely claim he led or secretly powered the film. Others imply he's exposing hidden elites. Reaction videos surge toward 3 million views. Every denial only seems to pour gasoline on the fire. Here's the reality. He isn't the director, producer, or star. Jim Caviezel headlines the film. Alejandro Monteverde directs it. Those are the documented facts. Yet facts struggle against narrative momentum. The viral posts conveniently label the movie beside Gibson's name, hinting at secret involvement. The edited clip removes the rest of the interview that softens or explains his comments. The myth grows through repetition. Compress the message, isolate the most dramatic lines, replay them until they feel like evidence. People who understand media cycles call it simple psychology. Drama spreads faster than context. Suspicion spreads faster than proof. Still, there's a reason the clip catches fire. Gibson's words, decades old, still carry charge. They tap into distrust people already feel about Hollywood power structures. And when the culture is primed for exposure stories, even an old interview...
When I came over here, I was, I was in my mid-20s.
Right.
The first time I really came over here. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
Can look like prophecy. So maybe nothing coordinated is happening. Or maybe timing is everything. Either way, every time elite exposure conversations trend, his name rises from the ashes again, and each attempt to shut it down only makes it louder. Because in Hollywood, sometimes the story isn't just what was said. It's when people decide to listen. Then a second surge rolls in, louder, stranger, and far less grounded in fact. A mid-tier YouTube channel, fronted by an AI-generated narrator, drops a slickly edited video claiming Mel Gibson secretly exposed Oprah Winfrey for suspicious ties to Hollywood's inner circle. The proof? A mashup. They splice fragments of his 1998 interview together with a completely separate 2019 clip, where Oprah speaks about abuse survivors while promoting coverage connected to Leaving Neverland. 2 unrelated moments, stitched back to back to simulate confrontation. In the edit, it looks like a call-out. In reality, he never even says her name. But accuracy isn't the engine driving this. The video rockets into the millions of views, spreads across repost accounts, then abruptly disappears, deleted or switched to private after the damage is done. By then, it doesn't matter. The fragments are already everywhere. Reaction creators jump in next. Thumbnail faces frozen mid-shock. Titles screaming he exposed her. Comment sections...
Movies like this, documentaries like this,
shows like this, there's a lot of people that don't want to do it because where are you going to platform it? Where are you going to put it up? But if there's a guy that could do it and pull it off, it's definitely Mel Gibson.
Boiling over with certainty. One reaction upload alone creeps toward 3 million views. And at the center of it all sits a claim that's both dramatic and flat out wrong. That Gibson stars in Sound of Freedom and personally unveils elite involvement in trafficking networks. Neither statement is true. That doesn't slow anything down. This is where the story twists. Gibson's team steps forward to shut it down. They speak to Newsweek, clarifying his no role in any 4-part documentary about a global trafficking ring. He isn't starring in the movie. He isn't secretly producing it. And aside from basic promotional support, he isn't collaborating with Tim Ballard in any deeper capacity. On paper, that should end the speculation. Instead, it feeds it, because online conspiracy culture doesn't treat denials as corrections. It treats them as cover-ups. Every statement meant to cool things down becomes proof that someone is being silenced. The louder the clarification, the louder the suspicion. Official language morphs into damage control. Silence becomes evidence. Everything confirms the theory. The numbers keep climbing anyway. 2.7 million views on Twitter. Tens of millions more once TikTok cuts, reposts, and stitch reactions are counted. Then an old rumor crawls back in the grave. The long-debunked claim that Gibson once spoke about elites drinking blood. Recycled like it's brand new, plugged neatly into the same narrative. No one pauses to verify, because a machine isn't built to correct itself. It's built to escalate. Truth moves slowly. Spectator for it.
Yeah, because there's resistance, first of all, from secular Hollywood, where for whatever reason, Christianity is the one religion that you're allowed to disparage.
Yeah.
Christianity is the one religion where people, all these progressive, open-minded, leftist people, they'll embrace all these different religions until it comes to Christianity.
Meanwhile,
And once the story takes shape, facts don't steer it anymore. They just bounce off. The cycle doesn't slow down. It escalates. Each round needs bigger stakes, darker villains, louder consequences. The rumor machine keeps reaching higher, like it's trying to top itself. Then January hits, and a new claim detonates. A tweet spreads fast, insisting Mel Gibson is secretly directing a movie about the Rothschild family, framed by posters as a direct strike against what they call the New World Order. The screenshot looks urgent, almost apocalyptic. It says global media outlets have declared war on him. It says powerful forces want production.
There are big realms, spiritual realms. There's good, there's evil, and they are slugging it out for the souls of mankind. And my question is, why are we even important? Little old flawed humanity, why are we important in that process?
Shut down. It says he's being punished personally for exposing something forbidden. The wording reads less like reporting and more like prophecy. Dramatic, accusatory, conspiratorial. Within hours, it's everywhere. There's just one issue. There's no such film. The only remotely related project on record is Rothschild, a small 2019 dark comedy directed by John S. Baird. It has nothing to do with the real banking dynasty. Gibson wasn't directing it. He was loosely offered a role at one point, and even that never materialized. His publicist, Alan Yarob, shuts the rumor down directly in an email. Gibson is not directing, has never planned to direct, and has zero involvement with any Rothschild-related film. That should close the case. It doesn't, because once a narrative locks in, corrections arrive too late. The clarification circulates quietly. The rumor keeps sprinting. People close to studio negotiations say the way Gibson's name keeps getting attached to elite exposure, projects feels less accidental and more patterned. Whenever a story needs a rebel figure fighting shadowy power, he gets cast in the role, whether he's signed up or not, and the pattern stretches backward. His career arc already reads like mythology. He peaks with awards and prestige. Then comes a fracture. In 2006, a high-profile arrest in a drunken, inflamed